So, Maril, you've watched Sam and Caitríona grow on this show, I think. What would you say it is that you've seen in their dynamic? Why does it work so well on set? Is there a story you can share?
I don't know if there's a story, but I do remember early on. Obviously, everyone knows we cast Sam first, and we had a very hard time finding our Claire. But I remember talking to Ron in our offices in Scotland and saying, if this pairing we don't hit this one out of the park, we might as well not make the show because it's so important. And when we saw Caitríona's tapes, we were like, ding, 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 ding. We've seen so many. I mean, help, please. He's falling over. I hated that line for so long because we'd heard it so much. But I think when we saw them together in Los Angeles, I remember this like it was yesterday, that chemistry was there, and they've always, and they can speak to this more than I can, but that friendship and that chemistry has always been so evident, and they just work so well together, and you see it on the screen, you see it in real life, and that relationship, and we've always hoped that they would stay that way and that they would continue that friendship, and it has, and it's grown. And I don't think I have a story about it. It's more that, I have so much respect for the two of them that they have been able to have this friendship. But they're also the only two, there are those of us who have been on the show from the beginning, so we can all share in that experience. But they're the only two that have been in that position. And they've remained really strong. And I think that has helped guide our show in terms of there hasn't been a falling out between them. They've maintained, they know how important that is.
Super annoying. You guys never fight. It's like perfect.
Oh, I'm sure they fight.
Weirdly, like we've never had a falling out. We've definitely irked each other. Yeah. Like little kind of like, but I think it was a very conscious decision in the beginning. Like I think I've spoken about this before. We were getting our hair ruined for about the 5th time down in London before we started filming. And he and I went for a walk in Hyde Park. And we were just talking, and we were like it was literally, we were like, look, don't know what this is going to be, but we're going to be the only two who know what it's going to be like in this. So we have to have each other's backs. And we did, like we made that decision, and it's always been that way. And, as the years have gone on, our lives have become very different, and, your lives become much more complicated. And, in the beginning, Sam and I were, very similar. I don't know, we're very similar in our personalities anyway. We like to be very prepared and focused, but then we like to have a lot of fun. We like to not take ourselves too seriously, even though we take the work seriously, that kind of way. But like as our lives have gotten more complicated and busy, we may not see each other as much as we used to, but that core and that like friendship and that base that we have has never changed.